please give a very warm welcome to Sam Darring.
All right, A for effort. Well, when I was 17, I had already been a very troubled young man for plenty of years. And I got to the point where I wanted to turn my life around. And so to do that, I decided that I should rob the Mirror Lake Inn Hotel Bar in Lake Placid, New York. So to give you some backstory, when I'm 13, I have very different interests than my peers. All I wanted to do was smoke cigarettes and weed all day, take LSD and huff nitrous balloons with my older friends, and do just like a little bit of ketamine. And if you saw me when I was 13, you would be shocked. And so my peers, my family, and the local school system was shocked. And they canceled me. Middle school, they said, you're not coming back. So my mom, God bless her heart, she took me on what I would call like a campaign to save my life. And she brought me out west and took me to and enrolled me in these different outward bound wilderness programs for rehabilitation and live-in clinics. And she even looked up cities with small schools she thought I might succeed in and change my interests. And we did this back and forth for about 4 years of me being in and out of these programs. And finally, when I turned 17, I was able to take my life back. And my interest steadfast. So I moved back to Saranac Lake, and I got a little apartment, and I started drinking alcohol. And I'd never drank alcohol before, and it really rocked me. There was a lot of deep-rooted stuff that came out when I drank alcohol, and it made me reckless and crazy. And so I started coming in contact with the law. So it was never for anything smart. It was always something dumb. So I'd get a DUI and go to jail, or I would write some bad checks and call it free money, and they'd pick me up for that. Or I'd break into your house and make a sandwich, and they'd come and grab me. So I went from troubled young man to low-life, petty, failed criminal. And so, I'm low-lifing around one day. I got my probation or whatever, and I got my little apartment. And so I go over to my apartment, and there's a little card on the door from the police department. They're like, Sam, call us up. So I go to Stewart's, and I call them up. I'm like, what? And they're like, man, you got to turn yourself in. You got charges against you. And I'm like, what charges? And they're like, it doesn't matter. You got to come in and work it out. We'll figure it out. Turn yourself in. So I said, well, all right, you know where I live, so I'll turn myself in. So I hung up the phone at Stewart's, and I'd never turned myself in before, so I wasn't going to start today. And at that time, my life started crashing down on me. And, when you're caught, you're guilty. So I really, I wanted to turn my life around. And I thought to do that, I should move to Florida. And in Florida, I'm going to disappear, and everything that was behind me will stay behind me, and it's all going to wash away somehow. And I'm going to need money for that, but because of my interest, nobody's going to give me any. So in the low-life syndicate, I had heard another low-life fella friend tell me that in Lake Placid, the cottage bar that's connected to the Mirror Lake Inn bankrolls a lot of money on Friday and Saturday, and in cash. And at the end of the day, this bartender, he packs up all his money and walks outside like Santa Claus with the bag, and he walks it up the hill to the Mirror Lake Inn and deposits it in the safe deposit box. And if somebody were brazen enough to run up on this Santa Claus type money carrier and scare them, they might drop the bag, and you could pick it up and make like 10 or 15 grand. So I thought, you know what, under the circumstances, this sounds like a pretty good idea. So the police know where I'm at. I figure if they don't come for me today, then I'll do the job tomorrow. So I go back to my little apartment. I rummage through my 12-year-old stuff, and I find a BB gun with just a little handgun BB gun. I figure this is going to be the tool that I scare this person with, this Santa Claus with. And I go to sleep. And then I wake up the next morning. The cops hadn't come for me, so I'm nervous. I'm racked. The bar doesn't close till 10 o'clock, so I drink a bottle of vodka. And I pass out. I crash. And so I wake up. It's time. It's late. And I'm like, oh, my God. So now I'm hungover as all can be. And I grab the little BB gun, and I go out, and I hitchhike to Lake Placid, and I get picked up by this nice Christian man, and he tells me about God the whole way. And I ask him to drop me off in the bushes right there by that bar. And so I'm in the bushes and I'm waiting, and right on time, a car pulls up to the cottage bar, and a woman gets out and she walks over and she turns off the lights and goes inside, and she comes back out and she's holding that bag that my low life friend told me about. But it's winter, so she doesn't walk across the street anything. She gets in her car and she drives it up around the driveway. So I panic and I jump out of the bushes and I got the pistol. I don't know what I'm doing. And I scale the side of the building and I come around the building and I look. And I see her, she goes inside, and I'm like, it's now or never. So I run around the building, and she's about 10 feet in with her back to me. And I run up behind her, and I grab the bag, and I go to run away, and it jerks back. And I'm like, oh, shit, she's stronger than me. And then so I pull it again, and at this time, she, turns around and, figures out what's going on. And we catch eyes, and at that moment, time stopped for me. And in a millisecond, I thought, you know what? This might not be a great idea. And then the next millisecond, I thought, man, I'm not even sure if I've done anything wrong yet. So I'm like, I'm going to abandon ship on this one. So I let go of the bag, and I'm like, I'm out of here. And I start taking off, and I'm hung over, I'm tore up, and I clip the door on the way out, and it's slippery outside, so I slip, I fall right on my face. So I throw the pistol in the bushes because I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to talk to anybody about that. And then I go to get up, and a gentle boot comes over my arm, and a knee goes in my back, and the sweetest voice comes over my shoulder and says, young man, you're going to have to stay put because my manager has called the police. So the police come, and they book me, and they send me to the penitentiary behind that one. And yeah, so A for effort. You know, when I got to the penitentiary, I saw my new home. I saw a very stark version of my future, and I started to turn my life around. Thank you.